All right, guys, welcome to my weekly recap and review of Rebels Season 3, Episode 4. All right, so the episode starts off with a Rebel transport that is set to deliver food and supplies to a planet in need. However, an Imperial battlecruiser shows up and engages the transport and their small fleet of A-Wing fighters. The small band of A-Wing fighters are no match for the TIE Striker fleet and the might of the Empire. The Rebel pilots are taken out one by one. Then the TIEs turn their attention to the Rebel transport, sustaining crippling damage to the transport. The pilot pleads for mercy. However, we all know that the Empire never shows mercy. The transport, 6 A-Wing pilots, and the supplies were all lost in the battle. Meanwhile, our rebels get word of the attack and the loss of pilots. They respond to an incoming transmission from Fulcrum, advising them of Imperial pilots who wish to defect to the rebels. They devise a plan to extract the defectors with Sabine as a plant. Ezra is opposed to this idea, but the decision has been made. Later, we have Sabine undercover as an Imperial recruit at the Sky Strike Academy. She is checking in her pass card. However, her pass card does not work. After giving it a nice Nintendo cartridge blow, which works on everything, by the way, the pass key does work, and she is allowed to proceed. Kanan and Ezra remain on standby, awaiting Sabine to give the go on the extraction. Later, we have Sabine and the recruits getting ready for their first training session. Wedge introduces himself to Sabine as his wingman. During the training session, both pilots show exceptional flying and dogfighting skills. The pilots are then told to engage and attack the crippled transport in their training mission. Sabine questions this order. However, a simulated ghost ship comes out of nowhere, taking out Wedge and Sabine in the training simulation. Sabine and Wedge are quickly disciplined for their failure by instructor Scaris, and yes, this guy is scary. Wedge pulls Sabine to the side, admiring her boldness. Sabine questions the Empire's morals, and Wedge agrees. This could be a little competition for Ezra, we'll see. Just then, Governor Price and Agent Kallus show up at the academy with information regarding defecting recruits. Governor Price takes some shots here at Kallus, telling him perhaps he'll learn something. Later, Sabine overhears Wedge and 2 other recruits discussing defecting from the Empire. She approaches Wedge about defecting from the Empire. Wedge is shocked that his message got through to the rebellion. Sabine tells him to have himself and the others ready to leave soon, as they do not have much time. Meanwhile, Ezra is still struggling with his impatience and concerns over his friends. Kanan advises his student to have faith in Sabine and her capabilities. Governor Price and Kallus have devised a plan to flush out the traitors and the rebels with a training session in space. As our defectors get ready to make their move, some show their concern for the plan and the trust of the rebels and whether they can escape safely. As our defectors embark on their training mission into space from Sky Strike Academy, they begin a simulated dogfight with non-lethal weapons. Sabine attempts to contact Ezra and Kanan for the extraction. Kanan and Ezra pull out of hyperspace. Our 3 defectors make their move towards the rebel ship, following closely behind Sabine. Governor Price is told that 4 ships have broken off from the main group and are heading for the rebel ship. Governor Price orders the recruits to return to base, giving one final warning. When Sabine refuses, the defector TIE wings are disengaged and are powerless. Governor Price then orders the TIE Strikers to kill one of the defectors, and of course it was the brother. The TIEs then turn their attention to Kanan and Ezra's transport, taking on heavy fire and damage. Sabine pleads with Ezra to leave, but he refuses. Their transport is severely damaged. As Ezra swings by to get Sabine, the ship is hit yet again, sustaining a major blow. They have no choice but to leave, leaving Sabine and the defectors behind at the mercy of Governor Price and the Empire. Once they have been captured, Governor Price is sent in to interrogate them. She asks which one of them is the rebel spy. No one answers. She picks Wedge for torture. However, Sabine gives herself up. Wedge makes the mistake of saying her real name. Wedge and Hobbs are taken away, while Governor Price interrogates Sabine further. In the process of the interrogation, Sabine fights back, taking out both stormtroopers with Fist of Fury, actually taking a gun away from one. However, Governor Price is unfazed by this and quickly engages Sabine in hand-to-hand combat. Now, this ain't no regular chick fight, clawing, scratching, weave pulling, no. We got straight punches, knees to the gut, trash talking about who had the better training. At one point, Sabine actually picks up Governor Price and slams her against the torture machine. Price then retaliates by trying to burn Sabine's face off with the laser. However, Sabine does get the upper hand with a beautiful roundhouse kick that sends Price into the stunning laser. Sabine frees Wedge and Hobbs from their holding cell. The three flee to make their escape, but they are quickly stopped in their tracks by Callus. However, Callus is not there to stop them, but he is there to help them. He gives them instructions to avoid Imperial troops. Sabine still does not trust him, asking him why is he doing this. He simply replies, "Tell Zeb that we're even," using Zeb's full real name. An obvious throwback to last season's Callus and Zeb enemy mind-centric episode. Our three defectors decide to take a TIE bomber, which is slow, but can take a hit. I was very excited to see the bomber in action. It is one of my favorite ships. However, Scarus gives chase in his TIE Striker, quickly catching up to the bomber and launching his attack. As stated, the bomber was taking hits very well, but Scarus was making quick work of the slow bomber. As he moved in for the kill, lining up the bomber in his target scope, landing point-blank shots to the back of the bomber, putting our defectors in peril. Just then, Ezra and Kanan swoop down in between the bomber and Striker, cutting off Scarus' line of shot. Sabine manages to secure the bomber to the rebel transport, and our transport quickly flies to outer space to make the jump to hyperspace. However, Scarus gives chase, once again locking in his target, but our heroes are able to make the jump to hyperspace safely. Our new rebel recruits, Wedge and Hobbs, are greeted by Commander Santos, and we are witnesses to the beginning of the rebellion. Wonderful episode, excellent episode. I love this episode, guys, and now I'm going to give my final thoughts. All right, a couple of key points to this episode. Sabine, first of all, B.A. We're getting the Sabine the fans have been waiting for. Her fight with Governor Price was epic. And we get to see that Price has some skill as well. I'm sure we will get more of these two meeting again. Sabine has found her nemesis in Governor Price. Can't wait, look forward to that. Wedge and Hobbs. We got to see Wedge and Hobbs' entry into the rebellion by defection from the Empire. Now, I haven't read all the books and novels, but I do believe there are some books out there that talk about Wedge's recruitment with the rebellion. I think this was an interesting explanation of Wedge's recruitment into the rebellion. Disney and Lucasfilm is not afraid of using characters from the live-action saga to explain their backstory here in Rebels. Love that. Wedge, Sabine, and Ezra. I thought we got to see Ezra's feelings for Sabine a little bit here in this episode. I mean, we all know Ezra cares for his friends and how he has used the dark side to protect them. Now, I could be reaching here a bit, but I thought we saw some chemistry with Sabine and Wedge. This could be a problem for Ezra if he and Sabine are to become an item, but we will see. That will be something to watch for later on as the series continues, especially if Wedge is to become a regular. Is Callus fulcrum. I believe he is, considering he helped Sabine and Wedge escape. It's clear that Callus is not in a good place with the Empire. His arc will be interesting going forward, but I am glad to see that he is getting more time here in the series. The new guy on the scene, Scarus, the Imperial fighter pilot. He scares us. This guy is BA, a true vet in every sense of the word. If I'm not mistaken, it was Scarus who finished off the first transport. I know we'll get more of him, maybe even a backstory. Can't wait. So again, guys, great episode, lots of action. We got Sabine as a lead, which was great. I think we'll get more as the season goes on. I know Thrawn fans are getting a bit anxious, but I'm sure he'll be back very soon, next episode maybe. My score for this episode is an 8.5 out of 10. Can't wait for the next episode, guys. I'm sorry I got this up so late. I had a very busy weekend, but I want to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I am out.